up with the times. I hope to God everybody's having a great morning and they can actually hear us today. What's going on, everybody? And we're here right off the rip. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Chop Sports Daily, coming to you live from the Flipping Made Easy studio right here in beautiful, sunny, chilly Matawan, New Jersey. And, of course, broadcasting, breaking all the news, chopping it up, have you at the Cabinet Creations Sports Desk. It is Sturch. It is Gooch. It is Dina behind the glass. It is Wrestling Rob, looking svelte, bro, every night. Like, see, just like, I don't know how you do it, by the way. Like the whole 10:30, 11 o'clock at night workouts, you're out of your mind.
Midnight. If I don't do it, I just won't go. So I have to do it.
That's his only chance.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, more power to you. I got to do it at either 7:30 in the morning or like middle of the afternoon. Yeah. But once that like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hits,
it's over.
Good night.
You guys see the extent of my workouts here? It's like
push-ups,
pre-show push-ups, and then that's it.
I do want to apologize to those who tried to tune in on Friday. This is why, I can't leave the state.
Oh, yeah, because there's never any audio issues when David's here, right, guys? There's never
I got
there
wasn't texts.
There wasn't any last week either.
Simultaneously, 3 texts. Go, bro, get off the plane, get back to the studio. I'm like, come on. I was texting Rob. I think I texted Dina. Got no soul by Dina, by the way.
Because the only thing I saw was what the fuck.
Yeah, it was a tense moment.
It was. It seemed like you got. I didn't see any of the show. Do you know what it was? I paid for internet in the flight going to Alaska.
So you wasted the internet. You wasted your money on the internet.
$8 for like a half hour of internet. All I wanted to do was tune in, make sure everything was going all right, and then it's all go live. It's 11 o'clock, and I'm just like, here we go, and then nothing happened, and I just saw no sound. I was like, oh, no. I was sick. I wanted to like, hey, can we just open the doors? Because I'm going to jump off this bitch. But, yeah, so it's all good. Listen, it happens. You got the day off, so I hope you enjoyed it.
That was a day off, bro. I sat here until 3 o'clock trying to edit a non-show that didn't exist.
And then you tried again,
just to
right?
be clear, after we didn't go live, the three of us, me, Kyle, Dina had to go to work. So me, Kyle, and Rob over here, we sat down and we did a 40-minute show, 50-minute show.
I feel bad for Kyle. I'm sorry, Kyle.
Yeah, no, I mean, he'll be all right, I'm sure. So we did a show, and the same thing. It came back with no audio on it, and, no show Friday. Moving on. It's Monday. Happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday. And by the way, if you want to support this show and make sure no audio issues happen ever again, you could do so by going over to patreon.com /Chop Sports. That helps us out. We want to thank everybody who's already a part of this Patreon group that continue to support us and get billed every month. And they're like, well, do I want to cancel it? Do I not want to cancel it? Do I still want to support these guys? Do I not want to support these guys? So everybody who's been sticking with us for the first couple months that Patreon's been active, thank you very much. And of course, over the weekend, I'm telling you, man, Kyle's got this like cult like following. You guys didn't have audio. That video was up for 8 seconds and there was like 65 views. And then all of a sudden we're at 1,059 on subscribers.
Yeah, so I did my part, guys. Thank you very much. Friday's episode broke records on
massive success,
adding subs. So Friday was a success ultimately, right? Like that's what we're doing it for.
Yeah, well, you're right. So the subs went up again. Congratulations to us, 1,059 and counting. Help us grow. Share the show. So let people know that we're doing our thing each and every day from Monday to Friday at 11 o'clock. Also, Dat Chat, which I saw Glenn. Our boy Glenn went to the Yankee game the other day, one of the Yankee games over the weekend, and I saw that he took a picture that the Yankees are advertising NFTs on the right field wall. Like now that's a new thing, and Dat Chat's about to be into the NFT business as well. It's another thing where I have zero idea of what the hell is what. I've had 4 or 5 different people talk to me about NFTs and explain it to me at length. You have, remember Wolf did, like other people, I think some of my family members did. I still don't have an ounce of a clue what NFTs are about and what they're going to be. And I know this is the future, and I'm just behind.
Real quick, I'll explain it the best.
This is probably the same way you've already explained it. I'm just like,
one second. It's basically like, you're presenting a piece of artwork, internet artwork in a sense, or a moment in time that might take place. And you're presenting it as if it's like a startup business and you're getting people to invest in your NFT or buy it. I don't know the extent of I know how the money goes up because you have to raise money the same way you're going
like a stock market.
Angel investors in
right.
Stock market.
Okay, 199 scoop to fix your audio problems coming in from the super chat. Bring that up, Dina, so we can see it just because it's nice and it's blue. So Scoop paying for the show. We appreciate that. You could do that too. Ladies and gents, if you see the option, there's a little money sign there. You want to donate to the show as the show's happening, you could do so by doing what Scoop just did. So appreciate the $2 Scoop. That goes a long way. It'll buy us a little coffee. because I'm on Cup 3. But anyway, my boy Glenn, Dat Chat, go check them out. It's Google. They're on. What happened? What did I miss?
Ashley's coming to my defense, as always. So sounds like we need an NFT episode. I think James Rube is talking about NFTs, and James Rube is the first person that actually spoke to me about NFTs.
Well, there you go. And I'm pretty sure he explained them to me too. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And
he explained it. It was over like a podcast, and he was talking about NBA at the same time.
Yeah, no, forget.
But yeah, James, if you want to come on the show and explain how NFTs work,
I'm all for it.
But in a sports-related sense, because there's obviously a lot of sports-related NFTs out there. So
yes,
we could kind of do that.
I'm 100%.
I would love to have James do a podcast on that.
I would love for James to invest in Chop Sports at this point. But anyway, yeah, congratulations to Rube, our boy, who's killing it on the fantasy game. So obviously, before we get into anything, I do want to talk about real quick the draft party that we're going to have. Last year, we did it a little bigger. We went to big shots. We were on the mic. We were having a good time. And Chris was passing kidney stones and shit in the bathroom. So it was a good time. We had a really good time. But this year, I think it's going to be a little different. I think it's going to be more of a hangout scene. Me and Gooch will be at a disclosed location, which we'll probably get into today. Me and him after. Talk to Rob about it too. It'll go down on draft night. But before that, draft week is when we're going to do our mock draft special. It's going to go down on Monday night, April the 25th. That'll be a live show on our YouTube channel in which you, the fans, will represent one team. You'll call in, you'll make your pick, and then we'll do a first round mock draft like that. Last year was a lot of fun. We had that. We were just recording.
So, Rube, you want to take the Bears?
Yeah, I'll just give the Rube the Bears.
Do the Bears have a first round pick this year?
They might not, actually. I'm not sure.
I
would have to look. But I've been doing a couple mocks here and there. So definitely it's draft season. We'll get more into that as it goes. There's other stuff to talk about, obviously, with sports. And the NFL finally took a back seat until we get into our first story in a little bit. But I will say that I'm on my third cup of coffee because I am exhausted. I got in late last night, and it was travel-wise, it was the worst trip I've ever taken, travel-wise, with layovers and stuff like that, because it was rough. I left here on Thursday. We're supposed to have a 7:20 flight out of Newark. I'm with a group of like 5 guys, because their flights already got canceled the night before, so they're joining our flight. They're getting canceled because I'm hearing that Air Alaska is on strike with some of their pilots. So all of a sudden,
as they should be, I would imagine.
I'm sure. And then I saw the weather was shitty on Thursday, right? So I'm with whatever. All right. So I understand delays. I get delays. They happen all the time. If it's weather related, fine. So we got delayed from 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock. So 4-hour delay. And I was already losing my buzz. I got to the airport at 5, started hammering down on drinks because I was like, you know what? It's a long flight. I'm going to go to sleep. So that didn't happen.
Dave, you need to be introduced to some edibles, dude.
The rest of the guys all had them, and I was petrified.
I understand maybe taking an edible on a flight to Alaska for your first one might not be the best move, but I think that you should just slowly be introduced to these things, bro.
So yeah, so in any event, we got delayed. Now the problem with the delay is our connecting flight is in Seattle. Clearly, we're not going to make that. So I felt like I was on Tommy Boy all of a sudden, where I was just like trying to figure out what's next. We're all sitting there with the line talking to the Air Alaska people, and they're like, it seems like you won't be connecting flight at 11 o'clock and after all, so you won't be getting into Alaska. I said, all right, what's the next best thing y'all can do for us? Because there's 6 of us. We're drunk. We're angry, right? Like, she's like, let me see here. And she's doing her little thing, right? And I'm just like, okay, come on. She's like, got it. Perfect. And I was like, great. What are we doing? 2-3 hour delay? She's like, we could put you on a flight at 6 a.m. I was like, wait. So I'm going to get to Seattle at midnight and then have to wait 6 hours for the next connecting flight. So that's what we did. We had to do that. And we finally got to Alaska at like 9 in the morning. But look, Alaska, honestly, I've been a lot of places. Alaska is one of the nicest places I've ever been to because A, it's not populated. B, it's beautiful. The scenes, like every backdrop, like you go to a CVS and the backdrop is just a mountain range. And I'm just like, this is incredible. You know, like every time you look around, it's great. A little cold. Did snow a little bit, snow on the ground.
Did you guys see any abominable snowmen?
No, but there was I guess they played to that because like, you know how like when you drive around Jersey and people want to keep other people off their lawns with like cardboard dogs. You know what I'm talking about? Like to keep the
You think it's people that they're trying to keep off? I always thought it was like wildlife.
That's what I meant. Did I say people?
Yeah.
I meant wildlife. Yeah, no,
like,
stop walking.
You'll see one in the middle of a farm.
Right.
Like it's like this pasture. And it's like, dude, I don't want any people over here. So I'm going to put this cardboard dog.
So anyway, they play into that. They have an abominable snowman cardboard cutout in the middle of their fields and they play to it like, better not take our crops because we got the abominable snowman. But it was great. We did a little walking, hiking, drinking, all that stuff. We had a great, successful show. The Alaskan people ate us up alive, man. They loved some pro wrestling out there. They don't have a pro wrestling scene out there. So Kevin Matthews put it together 3 years ago. I was only on the one show, the first show, back in 2019. And then they're like, hey, it's a 3-year anniversary. Bring out Sturch again. Okay, cool. Will I go back? I don't think I want to do that again. Unless the air and the connecting flights and shit are a little better. But as of right now, I'm just like, I'm done.
I saw the picture that you posted of you guys sitting like on the airplane, and it looked very uncomfortable, bro.
Well,
the biggest guy you were with, I thought was in the middle of the picture. It looked like, so I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah,
I was like, that does not look comfortable.
It actually turned out pretty good on the second flight. First flight, yeah, we were a little, Second flight, we all had our own row. Nice. Like the same thing on the first flight home.
Flights out of Seattle.
I mean, those red eyes, those red eyes, man. Nobody goes on those flights, so we did have our own row.
They literally gave you guys they started up a plane just for you.
But I did see a comment come from Keith Ernst, and he was like, if anybody, like any terrorist, decided to get up that day, like they chose the wrong day.
Oh man, I passed on a great opportunity at a joke there because I didn't have time, right? But I was gonna be like, they would run to the back and they would have a meeting. Like a pre-fight meeting, and they'd script how the fuck they're gonna take this guy.
Wow.
I guess you've never heard.
Dave's gonna hit his finisher, and then this guy's gonna gig and bleed. Right? Yeah, it's gonna.
You've never heard of the plane ride from hell?
You've never heard that. And
that's
of course, all the boys.
A story you need to hear.
All the boys, Rob, are talking about it. Are like, we should do a plane ride from hell. I'm like, no, we shouldn't. Like it's bad enough. I got some of the guys, like every stewardess. Are they call them stewardess still? Flight attendants? Flight attendant. Every flight attendant that went by, like, hey, mama, woo! And I was just like, dude, I'm in the corner, like, burying myself. I can't do this shit. Like, this is insane. But it was fun. I had a great time, great show. But I came back last night, got in around 1 a.m. Shout out to my boy Alex, who picked me up. Drove me all the way home instead of me spending $400 on an Uber. So we had a couple of the students from the school bring us back. So that was fun. But Chop Alaska is coming to a theater near you because I dropped off a bunch of business cards. I left a bunch of koozies in the house. The house was great. The house we stayed in. So they did play a prank on me because I was the old guy. I wasn't the oldest, but I was one of the older guys to fall asleep quick at the end of the night. So, but here's the thing. Like, we all get done. A couple of the guys are booked on a student show, like to help out the local 907 Wrestling Academy show, right? And that's Friday night. So a couple of the guys were booked on that. They had their matches. They came back. They said, what time are you coming back? They said around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, Alaska time. So right off the rip, they're coming back. It's 2 a.m. back east. So I'm already getting tired. I drank all night. So like, I was like, all right, I'm definitely going to fall asleep. So they all get back. And of course, the funny thing was like my boy Jerry, his name's Trax, right? He goes, who wants steaks? We're all going to grill steaks when I get back. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be tired. I'm asleep. But here's the problem.
I'll take fries.
Yeah. I was like, you want to grill me a pizza? So the problem was we're all watching. Of course, this is where, you would get a kick out of it. Tommy would too. Like these guys, they breathe wrestling. That's all that's on the TV is wrestling. So I'm watching it. I'm like, I'm going to fall asleep. Like there's no way, like nothing is that interesting for me to continue to stay up. So I started to fall asleep.
Like in the room with everyone?
Yeah, which is rough because I was on a couch laid out, like totally laying down, like it's time to go dreamland, right? Because everybody else had a bed since I got there late. Beds were kind of occupado, and I was like, you know what? That couch pulls out. I was like, this is mine. But the problem is it's in the common room. So I'm in there. I fall asleep, and the way I wake up is I thought that they sprinkled seasoning of some variation near my nose. So I was like, I jolted, right? Turns out one of the guys, and I won't
dropped
name
his nutsack on your
no,
face.
that would have been terrible. The worst thing I've ever experienced, somebody to get jacked up for a match has smelling salt.
Nice.
So they dropped smelling salt under my nose, and that's how I woke up in a panic. When I jolted, like the house shook. I was like, what the? I was like, who poured what on me? And they're like, not. And they're like, the guy's like, smell the smelling salt. And I was like, good Lord, man. I was like, I'm 36 and I'm still getting ribbed in wrestling. Are we done? Can we not do that anymore, guys? Thanks.
Don't fall asleep first.
Don't fall asleep. I guess that's the rule. But then I'm like, when I woke up, I looked at the clock and it's 2 a.m. Alaska. So I'm like, you guys, you realize you're up at 6 and you haven't gone to sleep yet. Like everybody's got to go to bed. And then I went to sleep finally.
Dave put everybody to bed.
I did. I was like, you guys go downstairs. 2 a.m. You go down here. And I was like, it's enough.
Another dadism.
But yeah. So dadism. I was the the dad. But here's the thing: the guy who did the smelling salt to me, older than me. So it's like you're a jerk off. But I won't do that again. So that was my trip. I had a good time, and we'll see you tomorrow. No, we got NBA. Obviously, they finished their season.
Joel Embiid wins the scoring title.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Vogel about to be fired from LA.
That's the report right now. Is what I'm reading. Is Vogel is out of the Lakers, which actually segued me into
Did
talking
you hear
about
what Vogel said after? He's like, "Well, they didn't tell
They
me
didn't
shit."
tell me shit.
That's exactly what
Really?
he said
Yeah.
in the press conference. He was not happy because when you're hearing that post game
in a final post game.
in the final post game, you shouldn't be dealing with that. Like they needed to have had that meeting with Vogel earlier. But I mean, LeBron hasn't talked to him in weeks, so I would imagine that he's known he's been fired. LeBron fired Vogel, by the way.
Huh?
LeBron fired him.
Is LeBron coming back? I guess he will. I guess he gets to pick his head coach.
I have a feeling LeBron's not
LeBron's
coming
under
back.
contract, so unless he demands a trade, which I can't see, bro, you're gonna force your way out of LA.
You can't see LeBron
not-
forcing his way out of something.
Why would you want to stay there?
Not at age 40.
Why not?
He's
Why
only
not,
30
dude? He
37.
controls his own narrative.
Because look, he's got
Wrestling.
AD, which I think he's not willing to just get rid of AD, right? But Russ being gone, I think LeBron will
AD
have
barely
a new
plays
reason
for the
to stick
Lakers.
around.
Yeah,
this
that's
point.
that's the problem. It's AD.
Oh,
barely
believe me, I
plays.
know. Believe me, I know. But they've won a title together, largely because of AD. I'm not saying that I think AD is the guy. I think he's been a big disappointment in his career,
This
largely
is
in the postseason.
we all talk about super teams and like how much I hate them and how much they assembled. The Lakers might be the worst super team ever
Are you
assembled.
ready? Are
Yeah,
you ready for
never.
this? Yes.
This
I'll
reminds-
read
Westbrook,
that.
this
AD,
should-
Are
LeBron,
you ready
and
for
you don't
this?
make the playoffs.
Are you ready for this? They finished with a better record when they had Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram. So all the guys that they traded to make the AD thing work with LeBron, they had a better record with those younger guys. So could you imagine now if they had Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and they kept that whole unit together, they would probably be better now.
All
They're
those guys
saying
are
Ru-
flourishing too right now. All of them.
Rube came back in saying Russ is not gone. He's on the books for
He's gonna be
$45 million
a wizard
next year.
He's
Well, he's not going
He's
anywhere.
going to go back to Washington.
Somebody's got to take that contract. That's a
A
rough
team like
thing.
Washington might just do it. They loved him there, and he actually played. That was the best team basketball Russ ever played. Was down the stretch last year when Washington got real hot. Rube, you could chime in on that one.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong,
No,
but
I
like
know.
he comes to LA and he completely just turns into a
Russ needs to
bad
get the
basketball
ball. He's
player.
not a shooter, so you have a
Stat
guy like
slut,
LeBron
according
that
to Chop
dominates the
Cop.
ball the way LeBron does. And what are you going to put Russ on the wing and kick it out to him so he could also drive to the rim?
I don't know,
he's not
man.
a shooter, so it just doesn't add up for the Lakers. I never understood it,
Got to do something.
but I don't know what the hell John Wall would have done either.
Staying on basketball, another Dallas star, not the Dallas Stars, a Dallas superstar, Luka Doncic. I can't remember Doncic. I always mess that up. I just call him Luka. I'd never call him by his last name.
Everybody calls him.
Is he going to be the next? Is he going to be the next like one name star?
like Dirk?
Right.
He's Luka.
He's Luka. You're never going to call him LeBron. Right. Yeah. I don't call, and nobody in the world calls him James. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah, there's a
James
few,
from the
like,
three.
Russ. There's two Russes. There's Russ football and there's Russ basketball.
Who's the better Russ right now?
Russell Wilson?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, so
I mean,
Luka
although,
suffers
I
a
don't know.
calf strain, and
know.
why I
That's a
said
good
another
question.
Dallas superstar, meaning like Dak Prescott also suffered a calf strain. So apparently you can't have a calf in Texas. So Luka goes down. Now, what's this do for their,
They're over.
The interesting thing
Their
is,
playoff hopes are over now. Not that they had.
I think-
many to
well,
begin
I mean,
with. I think
it all
Luka
depends
turns
on-
it up, but a calf in the NBA.
Oh,
Have
yeah,
you ever
it's gonna
fucked
be
your
rough.
calf up?
Yeah.
I've had a fucked up calf
Yeah.
strain, bro. You're done.
I
It's the
decided to
worst.
do the calf
You're not playing.
calf
You're not playing in the NBA
extensions
with
for like
calf
a
strain.
day, and it was
you can't do it. You
I
can't
couldn't
walk up
walk
the
for the
stairs.
next
Bro,
3 days.
LeBron had a cramp and he couldn't even walk. He had a calf cramp.
The interesting thing about
LeBron's a
Luka
bitch.
is
Also, cramps. Fuck that. Have you ever had a bad cramp?
I had a cramp this weekend on the plane.
No, like a bad. Like I've had a cramp playing basketball and I couldn't walk. No doubt about it. I was also didn't drink water
Hydrate,
for
my
3
man.
or 4
Hydrate.
days
I
before
bet
that.
you were good the next day though. I think LeBron took like 3 weeks off right now, and he was in.
No,
he was
this-
in the
this
running
isn't-
for.
This is LeBron. LeBron's ankle is fucked up.
Did you
right?
see? Did you see the
And-
sign
and
in
he
the
didn't-
crowd?
And he didn't do
I'll tell
what
you in a
everybody said he was going to do by just playing the last two to qualify. He didn't do that, so everyone could write that whole, throw that narrative away where LeBron's going to sit out enough games and then just play in 2 to keep the scoring title. He didn't qualify.
He needed like 2 more games.
Yeah,
though.
he needed to play 2 more games, but he didn't just
The
do it.
best
even though
sign.
season
The
was
best
over.
sign that I saw in LA. So they were at the what do they call
Staples
it?
Center, or it's like the Crypto Center now, or something.
Right, you're right.
Unbelievable. that they did
At the Coliseum. Have you? The best sign I saw was Kobe would have played.
that.
And
He
I'm
would
like,
have though.
He would have. You're right. He would have.
He would have.
LeBron is so brand heavy that is just like, oh, I don't know, man. I can't do this. I can't do this to my brand. There's no way. I'll hurt myself more, blah, blah, blah. Don't be a bitch. Get on the court and play a basketball game. I know you don't agree with me. That's fine.
I'm saying that when you're in year 19.
Yes, 18, he's old.
He's old, bro. He's injured. LeBron was injured. You could say Kobe would have played, but Kobe also didn't last as long as LeBron lasted. And the year that Kobe did do this, they made the playoffs. I think they got the 8 seed. Kobe didn't even get to play in the playoffs because he injured himself in the final.
But at least he brought him to the playoffs.
That's what he was trying to do.
LeBron had a chance to do that. LeBron
had a chance to do that and did not.
He did not.
That's why I say that.
I think
no
that
debate for
you have a high ankle sprain. Kobe's not the GOAT.
What?
No. I said there's no debate
Kobe's
for
the
me.
GOAT?
No. I said there's no debate for me, and I was referring to Michael Jordan. Like Michael Jordan wouldn't miss these games.
No.
That's why there's no debate for me. I know there's debate for a million other people.
Could you imagine if LeBron James in the middle of his prime was just like, fuck this, I'm going to play another sport? People would trash him for it. Nobody cares that Jordan did that now.
Scoop comes in, Kobe stinks.
Back to Luka for 1 second. The interesting about Luka getting hurt in the last game of the season is he got a technical in the game before that would have made him sit. It was a 16 tech. He wouldn't have been allowed to play.
Is that a rule?
And the league rescinded it. Yeah, if you get 16 techs, you miss a game.
Now were they playing?
They rescinded it though.
Were the Mavericks playing for anything?
I don't think
seating
so,
purposes.
Dude.
I don't think
seating
so.
purposes.
So if they weren't playing for anything, why was he even out there?
Because it's the 82nd game of the NBA regular season. Enough of this whole let's take a couple days off. Just play the game. Play. What's the point?
They're gonna have to.
Listen, he didn't go into the game with a calf issue.
I know, but he left.
If he
one,
did,
but he sure as hell left one with it.
Yeah, but I'm saying
and now you know what else left that game with it? Their playoff hopes gone. All because of the 82nd game of the season that nobody cares about, and they might have won, they might have lost. But guess what?
And look,
I don't know. You want to know why? Because I don't care about it. You know what I care about? Game 1 of the Dallas Mavericks, whoever they play in the first round of the playoffs. Now they're going to be getting 9.
Oh, you're talking about spreads and stuff, but I don't know. I'm
don't play that game, Luka. You learn your lesson.
I'm not in the realm of or that world where I'm just like he's got to sit out because he's got to if you had a lingering issue, I get it. Sit, rest.
If it's the 82nd game of the season, I could almost guarantee you that you have a lingering issue.
Yeah, I don't know.
They give these guys off days throughout the year for no reason. Give them that one. Whatever. It's hindsight's 2020. I don't know that I would have sat him, but if there was a whole technical issue rescinded and he was about to have to sit anyway, I would just be like, look, I'm not fucking with.
You're firing up the chop cop in the chat.
They were up 18 too when he got hurt.
I'm just saying.
Me and him have a different philosophy on a lot of these things. So that's what's perfect. Me and him could butt heads on this all we want. LeBron's era are pussies. It's not even the LeBron era though. It's I guess it is, but it's not to do with LeBron. It's just the league in general. Pussies.
Agreed. So I did go to Alaska and spend a lot of money, but guess what, guys and gals? I was waiting for the guys and gals thing. Guys and gals, I want it back. As soon as I landed yesterday, I was able to finally log into my FanDuel app, and I got it all back because my brother had texted me last Wednesday, and I said it on the show Thursday. I could probably pull the clip if you want, but my brother predicted the winner of the Masters as the Scotty Scheffler. So a $9 bet turned into a shit ton more. Nice. So I hit that one. Very excited about that. Didn't get to watch it, but I saw a complete domination. It wasn't close. Obviously, all eyes, and especially on Thursday when we were here, was on Tiger Woods. He got to play 4 rounds, man. And a lot of people were saying that wasn't going to be possible. So the fact that he was playing on Sunday, that's great. And I think that Tiger Woods is back, and hopefully he gets better as he goes. And we got some Tiger Woods on the golf course again.
Good for golf.
It is good for golf because that's why I was watching it. Clearly, I was watching it because, or trying to watch it because I wanted Scheffler to win. But storyline wise, give me Tiger Woods. I
watched 20 minutes towards the end. I think Scheffler and the guy that he was playing with was on the back 9, and Scheffler just ran away with it. I stopped watching.
Yeah, he won by 3 strokes. Rory McIlroy's finished -7 in second place, who won $1 million. There's a golfer, and I can't remember his name, and I heard it on the way down here, where they interviewed him, and is it your goal to win? How do you feel when you don't win? He's just I don't care. He goes, do you know how much money I made for coming in 20th? He had the Happy Gilmore approach, we don't have any checks for you. Give me one of them big ones. Yeah. Give me one of the massive cardboard checks you put in your trunk. But I forget which guy that was, but incredible. And something I did catch up on before we get into all the other stuff that I did catch up on yesterday in Portland. I watched this in the in the airport in my layover was the UFC event, which obviously we'll get more into for the Chop Sports Fight Factory, but great outing by Gilbert Burns. Well, obviously you could touch on it a little bit, but
yeah,
everybody and their mother thought that, Khamzat was going to go in there and just starch him up, and the odds favored that. Did you at least hit that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
good.
I did.
All right.
So,
Dina said she had a little bit of a rough weekend when it comes to her picks.
Khamzat comes into the
rebound.
fight, 10 finishes in all 10 of his pro fights, and then this was obviously the biggest competition that he faced, and Gilbert Burns showed up. I don't think that the fight was I think Khamzat won all 3 rounds. You're gonna have to watch it back.
I think Burns took the second.
He did best in the second. I mean, I have to watch the fight back, but yeah, it was a great fight. I don't think it was like the greatest fight, the way they build it.
A lot of people were talking about fight of the year.
Yeah, no. It was a very good fight. And I think what it was just seeing that Khamzat is actually a human being after all.
And
he could get dropped. You saw, I don't know if it was as Shopped as It Gets or Beaver Smash or one of these MMA Instagram pages that
Beaver Smash.
Bro, great.
Beaver Smash is a great follow.
Just give you the heads up. Go out, follow Beaver Smash, and follow As Shopped as It Gets. As Shopped as It Gets. They're both great on Instagram. So all you listeners,
which is weird because it's like As Shopped as It Gets. Like that guy can go in so many different directions, but he sticks with UFC.
Yeah, I'm sure he does his own editing for other people. But
I'm saying As Shopped as It Gets could be anything.
Yeah,
like he can really expand his.
It's definitely.
horizon.
I'm sure like I said, I'm sure he has a page for football, a page. Who knows?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, great pages. And they put out a thing last month or 2 months ago after the Masvidal and Colby fight. There was a picture of Colby that like got dropped to a knee at the end, and Khamzat came out with a tweet and said, "You'll never see me like this." Well,
I believe the still shot was this.
He definitely got dropped in the fight a couple times. Was it? He got dropped maybe 1 or 2 times. He never actually was dropped.
No,
But
there was
Did
no
you
not.
see though, like
But
his
Colby wasn't
reaction
dropped either.
to not being the best in that moment was to literally throw a fucking cheap shot after the buzzer.
Oh,
Like,
you saw the little slap that?
Yeah.
I saw that too.
That was him
It was like a
throwing a
light
fit.
tap, but then like after the fight, they're like hugging
Bro,
and
my
embracing.
thing is this.
But I
look,
did see that. I was like,
that-
you fuck. Yeah, I was like, you asshole.
It's a fight.
I get
And
it.
I
It's
love
like,
it. I don't
But
care.
here's the thing. The buzzer goes off, bell sounds, and Khamzat's still on. So Burns was like, all right, dude, get off me. And then he was like, no. And he like swapped at him again. I'm like, the round's over, asshole. Get up.
And then his coach
I'm
screamed
there
at
for
him.
it. I love all of that shit.
I
And
know, but I'm
to me-
just saying there's a reason why, he's trying to push him off. And it's just like, okay,
Well,
the
that
round's
and
over.
We haven't really got to see him in that light before.
Right, because you've
we've
never actually had
seen
to
him
wait.
close to
So I'm
losing.
happy that to me it was
Yeah.
all good things.
A lot of people
Khamzat
said-
deal with some adversity and he overcame it. You can't sit here and say, "Oh, it's all about Gilbert Burns." Khamzat went in there and he fought
He won the
number
fight.
2
Yeah.
ranked
He won
guy
the
in
fight.
the
So
world,
yeah.
and he took it to him. And I mean, like I said, I don't think he really lost a round. I just think that the 1 round was really good. And if you're gonna give it to him in the spirit of making it a better fight, then you could say, okay, Burns won the second. He did do well in the second round.
We'll talk about that later on today. Like I said, we're going to go live actually for the Chop Sports Fight Factory. So if you're watching this and you want to talk MMA and WWE and professional wrestling, we'll talk more later on, probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock. Whenever Tommy gets his big ass over here, we'll get going on that one. But other fights that actually took place that people are talking about, Volkanovski gets his win. That was obviously very heavily sided.
Look,
like, I think it was like minus 750 to
The
win.
biggest story here isn't the fact that Volkanovski won. It's the fashion that he did it. It was brutal. He picked his shots all night long. He was literally
You
talking
say
to
all
him
night long. I just
before
feel like it was quick.
before the round, the 5th round started, I believe it was. He literally stopped before they fought. They touched gloves, and he had a conversation with him. He's like, "Are you sure?" Like he was like, and in the post fight, he was like, "I started feeling bad in there, but this is the sport we're in, clinic." And they're asking Volkanovski what's next for him, and I'm glad he said this because this is what it is. There's no featherweight in the world that's going to give him any competition right now outside of a Max Holloway, which we've saw that twice. I do think Max did win the second fight, but you got to fucking literally hit this dude with a sledgehammer. He's looking at the Gaethje Charles Oliveira fight. So the winner of the lightweight title
I can't
fight
wait for
might
that fight.
possibly be a Volkanovski fight. And you can't say Volkanovski is too small for the division because he used to be 220 pounds.
Right. And then obviously
fits
the
right in.
one that really kind of surfaced on as far as shopped as it gets and little memes that were being created was the Jan and Aljamain Sterling fight where Dana White was lined up behind Jan. I don't know if you saw this one. Like lined up behind Jan waiting for the decision so he could put the belt on Jan. And like all of a sudden it was like, oh no, like no, wrong, and then they went to Sterling gets down on a knee, like I'm like, I didn't see the fight, so like I can't make a determination until I watch the fight, which I will after the show to kind of catch myself up to speed. It was close, but like Dana White said he had it completely the other way. He actually verbally said that in a press conference, which I don't agree with. You're the president of the company. I don't know if you should have an opinion vocally like that, where he's questioning the judges. Like, you guys employ these guys. Well, the state of
it depends what he's trying to do with the next fight. I think he's just setting up a rematch. It might be a marketing thing. I think he's also
definitely a marketing.
He's also being honest. They ask him a question. He's being honest about it. I wouldn't say it because I think it diminishes your champion. Well, at the end of the day, Aljamain won the fight fair and square. I think they got the decision right because you can't really say who won the first round. It's a toss-up. So I'm not going to be like they got it wrong because he punched him 6 less times in the first round. Like, it's like take a
Tommy D thinks whatchamacall. He lost money. Dana White lost money. So maybe he lost a bet. I don't know.
I got it.
That is basically our little headlines there as far as.
I think Aljo won the fight. I don't think that he won it convincingly enough because of the way the fight ended. He was getting his ass beat in the final 2 rounds, and it's tough for me to see the champion get peeled off the canvas and get his hand raised at the end of the fight. If that fight was infinity time, there's no way Aljamain Sterling beats Peter Yan.
All right, we'll see.
Do you think Dana White makes bets on fights?
No,
I was about to say.
No shot.
I was like, no way, right?
All right. So before we get into all that, we do want to talk and take care of some bills here. So we're going to start by talking about the Fusco Insurance Agency. Michael Fusco and the Fusco Insurance Agency is partnered up with Chop Sports. We're very pumped about this. He offers a lot of services. He's a full-fledged powerhouse. The Fusco Insurance Agency offers personal and commercial lines, life and health insurance. They even help you with retirement, employee benefit administration. If you need a benefits guy, if you're a small business owner, you need to give your employees some benefits, boom, he's your guy. Go talk to him. It's tax season. We're literally days away from making sure you file your taxes. He does have the Prestige Tax Group, which again, he's going to give me a whole nother read to do because he wants to really narrow down on some of these, some of the better things that he's got going on and in a timely manner. If you do have bad credit, though, he will help you out with that. They have the Fiscally Fit Credit Repair. They offer exclusive plans, and Fusco's promise to you is that he will not lose you any money. You'll actually have a chance to gain some money with a cap, of course. And if you're looking for a blend of personal service expertise, you've come to the right place. They offer a broad range of services for business owners and independent professionals. Their rates are affordable, very, very experienced. And of course, the best part about all this, and I say this all the time, he's a good dude. He's a good guy. You can easily talk to him. I do want to give a shout out to the Facebook user, whoever you are. Please go over to the YouTube channel and watch over there so we know who the heck you are. And don't just say, well, it's me. No, the link is right there. I promise you it is. So go over there. But visit FuscoInsuranceAgency.com. And of course, Gooch with the highlight of the day. And that is our read from manscaped.com.
Spring has sprung, boys. So have you started your spring cleaning yet? The carpets need cleaning, the drapes need dusting, and your lawn needs some mowing. Time to clear out your winter bush and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off, free shipping with the code SHOPSPORTS. Manscaped has the full package you need for spring cleaning this year. The Performance Package 4.0 is the only tool you'll need to keep your balls smelling like a champion. The Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer with the LED light we all know and love. It's got a weed whacker ear and nose trimmer. It includes the crop preserver and crop reviver for your asshole and your ass crack. And now introducing the Plow 2.0 razor for your face. Because if you're using the Lawnmower 4.0 on your balls and your face, well, that's not good unless you're doing it in the shower.
Okay.
Because it is waterproof, boys and girls. All right, so the start of spring also marks the start of Testicular Cancer Month in April. Manscaped is partners with the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to ball cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection. So obviously, we all talked about the prosthetic nutsack that we got passed around in elementary school. Pretend you're in elementary school.
No, just you.
Just me.
You're the only class that has it. And it turns out it's not prosthetic. It was your teacher. And he's like, hey, feel for some lumps.
I did not go to Catholic school. I was in public school, so that did not happen, in fact. Okay, so 20% off. Go to manscaped.com. Type in the promo code SHOPSPORTS. Free shipping.
A lot of percentages off.
A favor.
Yes, definitely go check that out. And, of course, if you are looking to start a website of any variety, Steve, and this is my apology to you, bro, I could not smuggle any Alaskan beer back home. He said he was like, he goes, next invoice on him if I can get some beers back to him, but I couldn't do it. I was truth be told, I was a bitch. I was like, what if they take it off my bag? What if they throw my bag off into the ocean? I was just like, I don't want to smuggle any drinks. So I didn't do that. But anyway, you can go to steveaspar.com. He'll help you out with all of the website, web development, web services, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, even though we put New Jersey, New York. He'll help you out remote. He's the guy. He's cheap. He's affordable. Definitely a straight shooter. If something doesn't look right, he'll tell you. He'll be the one to edit your stuff and kind of keep it up. And that's what we pay him for too, to make sure if we have any adjustments on our shopsportsmedia.com, Steve's our guy. So that is that. Now, unfortunately, on Saturday morning, when I did wake up from my slumber and smelling salts and all that craziness over in Alaska, I did read some very, very tragic news in the world of sports as Dwayne Haskins, he passes away at the age of 24 after being struck by a truck while running on a highway in Florida. He was down there with a couple of his teammates, a couple other guys, training in the offseason program. It's just a terrible, terrible thing to even have to talk about or have to even remotely discuss the details. And there's not many details to be said. Like, something bad happened to a good kid. And the NFL reacted. Everybody kind of shared their thoughts. They shared their pictures. They shared all their memories with a guy like Dwayne Haskins. But I will go on record and say that if you haven't heard over the past year, I've been telling every single one of you, and he's been backing me up, that Adam Schefter's a hack and he's a piece of garbage.
I actually, like, the draft day was when I started to hate Adam Schefter before the draft a little bit, but then draft day news broke with
all the Aaron Rodgers stuff, right?
For me,
right. So, but now this goes on beyond the reporting. For whatever reason, Schefter decided to put out the tweet breaking the news, and the only reason why I saw this is because I saw somebody else says, as per Schefter, this is what just happened. I was like, oh my God, let me see what Schefter said with details or anything like that. Schefter comes out and says, Dwayne Haskins, former star at Ohio State, but struggled to get on and latch on with the Washington football team or the Commanders and the Steelers, has passed away. First of all, Adam, you don't have to use all of the characters in Twitter. You don't have to just make sure everybody hears you talk or hears you tweet, because I don't know if anybody else feels this way about Adam, but every time I see or read an Adam Schefter tweet, I hear it in his voice reporting it. So I can actually hear him saying, like, who struggled? Like, you don't do that with a man who just lost his life, Adam. And he backpedaled quick. He strained his calf big time by all the backpedaling he did. He deleted this tweet, and I did not see, and don't quote me on this, I did not see an apology.
There was no apology, but he deleted the tweet and
that's the apology.
He changed the verbiage and made it a little more like respectful.
You got caught, and people went off and sounded off. Des Bryant sounded off. A bunch of NFL players were like, "Are
Lamar
you
Jackson,
kidding me?"
Now the second time in a couple weeks, Lamar Jackson, like, basically Adam Schefter. I don't know that ESPN's ever going to punish this guy because he's seemingly
$9 million
shitty. He's seemingly in the news for something shitty every single week, but he's still got the job. But what's going to end up happening is now the NFL players aren't going to fuck with him at all, which I think that's been trending that way more so the last couple seasons.
It's been the landscape in NFL reporting has shifted. It's now everybody loves Rap Sheet. He's the guy that goes on with McAfee. He's the most realist, down-to-earth dude. Tom Pelissero of NFL.com and NFL Network. Those guys are good. McAfee is one of the biggest sources of information that will give it to you all straight and real. This guy just liked to see and hear himself talk, and it's to the point now where he'll never get penalized. He re-ups for $9 million a year to be that guy.
And I'm agreeing with what Toast is saying in the comments that he's a team guy. He's not a player's guy, so he's not reporting. He's doing the bidding for the ownership and the commissioner more so than anything. The network is at that. I don't know that any of his piece of shit sources, because the guys that he's getting all his information from, to me, are scumbags too. Well, so these are guys within almost every organization. So I don't think that they're going to stop giving Schefter information. Well, they're also
here's my not theory. This is what I'm like. As per source, right? He always says that as per source, this is what happened. I'm going to wet and bet my steak and chop sports that Adam Schefter's source didn't text him and say, hey, I just found out this really tragic thing. Dwayne Haskins passed away. He struggled to get on with the Steelers and the Redskins. He didn't say that. You said that. And you're never going to be held accountable. And like you said, I hope that his sources and people within organizations start to fade this guy a little bit. Start to fade him and just kind of just go away, bro. Like, go away at this point. Because if you can't get punched in the mouth like you should at least just go away and fold.
I wonder if he's paying for a lot of this information.
Well, probably.
I mean, he's got $9 million a year. Why wouldn't
it's just crazy?
Or ESPN's paying.
He doesn't mention nothing about Ohio State. It's literally just,
he said former Ohio State standout, but he didn't say like Buckeye, teammate, brother, son.
Nothing.
It was Ohio State Buckeye standout and a guy who couldn't hack it in the NFL.
He was also from Highland Park, New Jersey. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. And that sucks even more.
Actually matters, but
no, I mean, it Jersey represent, but for this guy to just keep constantly getting away with being just an asshole, it's just like, and now there's a beautiful thing for him. It's the auto block. So if you put Schefter in a tweet and it's like you're a piece of garbage, it auto blocks you, and like he doesn't have to do that anymore. That happened to me about a month ago. But I won't add him anymore because it's like why even give him? All I said was you got to be better. You got to be better when reporting the news. We're not journalists here. So our opinions are our opinions, and they go out into the world, right? And that's it. So if you want to come back, my man, Gooch's fucking thoughts about LeBron, he's so far off. Or man, Dave really likes the Cowboys, but they blow, right? That's opinion pieces. I'm not going to sit here and judge another person after a death. You're out of your mind, bro. You're out of your mind. Yeah. Somebody dies, they're dead. There's no coming back from that. You can't be that much of a dick.
And to be fair, he was 24 years old.
He's a baby.
Yeah, kid.
He's a baby.
24 years old. So
father.
Right. Son, brother, teammate, everything. But no, he struggled. So we should all remember him for not being able to hack it in the NFL.
I picture Adam Schefter.
Come on, man.
I picture Adam Schefter being in like gym class, like all the athletes are there, and he's just like, just like looking up at him.
Sources have said you pass me the ball. I'm underneath the rack. Like, fuck him.
It's crazy that's the first thing he thought to, because you're on your phone doing it. So he's like, because here's the thing. Struggled to get on.
If you want to be first,
what?
If you want to be first, which ESPN has been infamous for trying to be first, say less in your tweet. Say less. Like, I'm getting this. I got to break it first. Okay. Tiger Woods sucks and he doesn't make the cut.
Boom.
Yeah.
Done. Not like Tiger Woods, who allegedly had filled 18 holes. And when we're talking about holes, we're talking about girls. You know what I mean? Like, he's a dick. He likes to hear himself talk.
It's not like there's like a long list of accolades that Dwayne Haskins accomplished in his life. Let's not diminish the fact that he set the Big Ten passing record, right? Touchdown pass record, total offensive yards record for an offense. In addition to
there's a reason why he got drafted so
school
high.
records for Ohio State. So come on.
Right.
You're going to bash him for his lack of success in the NFL. You know how hard it is to make it in the NFL as a quarterback?
There's 32 jobs in the world. Yeah. He had one of them.
We all know Adam Schefter's a scumbag piece of shit.
Yes. And there's no other way to even I can't even say because there was a couple people that went to bat for him saying sometimes you word things wrong. I'm like,
how
if it's once,
we're talking
fine. If it's once
every couple weeks, bro.
Right. It's once every friggin' other week. And look, he's not the only one. Cowboys legend Gil Brandt, I'd be remiss to even say this. He went on record, who's like 80 years old. First of all, get off the air at this point. Just get off the air. He went out and said, well, if Haskins would have finished college, maybe he would have been smart enough not to run on the highway.
Are you kidding me?
On the air, dog. On the air. I'm like, Gil, goodbye. You're done, right?
Yeah,
it's over.
That's cool.
If he was get out of here, bro. Get out of here. All of you old hack doodle doos, man. Just get the fuck off the TV.
Man.
Yeah. You're terrible people. Anyway, time to turn this show around. Sorry. And rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins, star quarterback in the NFL. Because guess what? There's only 32 jobs. He had one of them. That's a star to me. Anyway, baseball happened. I missed opening day. I didn't miss it. I was game casting it, which was just ball, and then you see a little digital ball go into the little bit. I'm like, I don't know how anybody does this when watching sports. I will say this as far as baseball is concerned. I pulled a Dina and I muted multiple conversations online because I'm here to tell you, Toast, which I love you to death, and I'm sorry we couldn't meet up because again I was just running around like a chicken with head cut off in Alaska. But I will say that I got on you once about having multiple teams, right? And I get on everybody about that. I always say, you can't have multiple teams. It's sacrilege to me. To me, it doesn't matter. Chris is on team. Don't make fun of anybody's fanhood or whatever. But I will say this. When you claim to be a Yankee supporter, if that's one of your 3-4 teams, right? And the Red Sox do something positive, don't cheer about it within a chat with a bunch of Yankee fans. You are asking for it like a virtual punch in the face, and we can't get to you because you're thousands of miles away.
One of those emojis, like a fist,
fist to the face emoji. I can't sit there and watch. It's like going to a bar.
So it didn't have anything to do with mine and Kyle's lengthy chat about setting your lineup in the fantasy baseball league.
Oh no, that's it too.
You're also going to miss out.
I muted that too.
On good information.
I will check it and I will catch up. But when that thing happened, I was like, No, I'm not going to deal with this one. No way. Because it's like they're going back and forth. What did I text you? I said, what's Scoop's complaint? Because that's what it was. No, sorry, Toast. What's Toast complaint? Because I don't know where this even started or where it ends.
No, it was just a discussion. There was no
complaining. It's a philosophy.
Just letting them know.
Fine.
Like a philosophy. Yeah. Explaining why things.
So anyway, the reason why I bring up Toast is because sometimes when he does all his bets, which he makes 77 bets a day, he can't watch them all. So he's watching Gamecast and shit. And like he'll post screenshots of his Gamecast. I don't know how anybody does it. I'm sitting there like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Hit refresh. Finally, I get on my Odyssey app like an asshole. I'm like, oh, wow, I could put the fan on and listen to Sterling. And I didn't realize to do that. And, but yeah, anyway, so the Yankees do take opening day.
And Toast does have some nice little heaters
Toast
for
is the
tonight.
smartest
Ready?
dude that I know when it comes
Alex
to shit.
Manoah tonight over 5.5 Ks and the Blue Jays first 5 money line at -105. I would imagine they're playing the Yankees or the Red Sox.
They are playing the Yankees.
So they're playing the Yankees, and he's having the public go fade the Yankees right now live on the show as Dave complains about it.
Live on a show.
Honestly,
Yankee hat on.
I don't love the call. I mean, the Blue Jays are a tough team. I don't like that. I'm not going to play that bet, but I love the fact that Toast is coming in, going head up with
Guns
Dave
blazing.
right now. Guns
Pew,
blazing.
pew, pew. Yes.
And look, it's about money with these boys. Toast he's a gambler first, and you got to respect his fanhood.
It's not fanhood.
It is,
It's not
though.
fanhood.
It is. It absolutely.
Anyway. So anyway, the Yankees take 2 out of 3 from the Boston Red Sox, which good F Boston. A couple things to note before we get into kind of like what I wanted to talk about when it comes to Aaron Judge. Donaldson, good at baseball, bails out
until yesterday.
Bails out his former nemesis. Garrett Cole gets lit up on opening day, right? And then Donaldson saves the day, does not get a loss on the column of Cole, and it's because of Josh Donaldson, the same guy who accused you and why you might suck at pitching now, which is really disappointing. I'm very interested to see Cole's next start because if he gets lit up again, it's a problem. It's an absolute problem.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
obviously,
Yankees take 2 out of 3. I'm very excited about
and
that.
did you had a travel day yesterday? You didn't see, I think, Golden Sombrero for Donaldson yesterday?
I had a travel day.
Or 4 Ks. He did
right.
not do a goddamn
I love
thing.
Donaldson. He's one of my new favorite Yankees. So
he's one of those guys that looks like most people, when they shave, they look younger. He looks like he's like 90 with no beard.
Who?
Josh Donaldson.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
who the fuck is that? I'm like, that's Josh Donaldson? Wow. Damn, dude. That's why the Yankees need facial hair. Creepy.
Yeah. So anyway, the Yankees, the bigger story with the Yankees is something that broke over the weekend or right before the game, at least. And that was the fact that Aaron Judge did not sign his extension. There was no, the offer was made and it's got people on the fence. It's got me on the fence as to how I feel about Aaron Judge right now. What?
Well, how do you feel?
That was a
I want to
terrible
hear that.
offer.
Your take on that.
What?
That was a bad offer.
I think it was a bad offer too.
$30 million a year is a bad offer?
They were
That's
only
what it broke
offering
down to.
17 this year.
$30 million a year for
absolutely
a guy
bad offer.
that every time he does a diving catch, he's out for 4 weeks. Is that what we're doing here?
So now, just to be clear, do you know how Aaron Judge got hurt both times?
Making it-
Neither time was a diving catch. He got hit in the wrist, broke his wrist, right?
Dude.
And then he had a strained oblique from a swing. So the first one, I'll give you bad, the injury with the oblique, but he got over that, and then he got hit in the wrist with a pitch. That's a freak injury. I'm not holding that against Judge. Look, they made him the highest paid Yankee. When you become a free agent in Major League Baseball, you don't get this is a scummy Yankee move where they're like putting themselves above the league.
Don't get me wrong. My first reaction was poverty franchise. I was mad about the deal.
What are we
Yes.
talking about?
I'm just mad at,
it's not far apart. They're probably not that far apart, but Judge has an obligation, not just to himself, but you saw what happened all off season with the owners and the players. Is Aaron Judge going to go out there and take a team friendly deal? Now you say it's not team friendly. I say it absolutely is, considering what other guys are getting paid. He didn't want a 10-year deal. He wanted 8, right? That's an deal, right? Deal. He's not asking for 10, his size.
He's going to be 30 next week.
But these are the things that we knew. And this is a problem with baseball. Maybe Aaron Judge should have been a free agent 2 years ago.
Oh, and because of all the service time, arbitration, all that
I'm not going to sit here and be like, the Yankees are Aaron Judge. This is a perfect example as to why media sucks and how the media and the teams control the narrative, because they knew Aaron Judge wasn't going to take this deal. Look what happened last year with Freddie Freeman in Atlanta. When I say virtually identical situation, I mean it. And they thought that they were going to keep him because of team friendly. No, bro, the Yankees aren't the Braves. The Yankees are the Yankees. They shouldn't be lowballing.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And
unacceptable.
This is what I say, and this is where I go and compare it to anybody within the Dallas Cowboys. And I can make this comparison because once you get locked in with the Dallas Cowboys for a long-term deal, and when I say long, 4 or 5 years, whatever, and then you re-up with the same team, right? You're a Cowboy for life. And when I say that, when your career is over, you're on all the Cowboys media outlets. You're a brand all of a sudden. You could be the 8th string receiver. There's a couple guys that are going to be Cowboys for life, set for life, because they decided to do this. They put a fucking Judge Chamber in right field. They basically essentially made this guy the captain without making him the captain. You're going to make millions of dollars in endorsements. Bro, just sign the deal. Become a Yankee forever.
Did you not just hear what I said?
I heard what you said.
Now you just had this whole fucking negotiations with the owners and the players, and now you're going to have like one of your biggest prime guys that's going to possibly reset the market for his position, and you're going to have him be the one to take the bad deal. It's not going to happen. You see the comment right here. I don't mean to come at you, Anon, but Judge gets hurt too much for him to reject a long contract. You act as if there's not going to be a team next year that offers him a long contract. It's not the Yankees aren't the only team out there. Judge is going to get an offer.
Well, this is
what going to be bigger than the one the Yankees gave.
That's what,
and it's going to be from the Yankees. That's what it's going to happen.
So he basically outpriced himself to outprice himself. Like he's going to get
more money from the Yankees. That's not their fucking final offer. That's their offer.
Well, the fact that Judge went out on the press conference and said, instead of talking to one team next year, I'm talking to 30. Like he's officially going to test the market.
Why wouldn't he?
I mean,
and even if that's agent speak,
hoes ain't loyal. All right.
I mean, I feel like I feel like the teams ain't loyal.
Cashman, you just said the same.
Well, you said what's this guy went on record with that? Rizzo or Gallo? It was Rizzo. He's the one who said like, look, there's no loyalty in this game. He's like, Freddie Freeman was a Brave and now he's a Dodger. Like that Freddie Freeman was the face of that team.
It wasn't because Freddie Freeman wanted out. It was because they didn't make him feel wanted enough. Look, Judge is Aaron Judge, bro. What are we talking about here? He literally ushered in the new era. The Yankees were nothing again. Jeter left. They had a bad year, 1 year rebuild. They brought those guys up, and Aaron Judge hit like 20 bombs in the final month and a half of the season, and we were like excited about baseball in New York again, even though it wasn't that long of a hiatus. It was rough for a fucking season or two. I just don't understand what we're doing here. It's the Yankees' future captain. It's the guy that we talked about as being the face of the franchise, and honestly, one of the faces of Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
right. I don't want to hear about the 8 years. We gave Garrett Cole. He's a homegrown guy. We're paying Stanton $30 million. We're paying Garrett Cole $30 million. Aaron Judge is the face of the New York Yankees. He deserves more than $30 million. I don't give a shit what.
And it was only $17 million this year, too.
$17 million this year, which is I get.
Well, baseball's fully guaranteed no matter what.
No, yeah,
that's fine. But my point being is, in 5 years, that contract is going to be garbage for him because Stanton's getting $30 million now.
Stanton's also one of the better players in baseball.
But Stanton signed his deal like 6 years ago.
He got the 10-year deal from Miami. That's not his fault. That's what he got.
Miami's paying guys $30 million a year, and the Yankees.
My whole thing is, you just said like the Judge has.
Yankees are not Miami.
The Judge has the judges' chambers, and he can make all that money. But like the Yankees are going to make a lot of money off that too.
It's a scumbag move.
Totally. I was just going to bring that up as well. Like the Yankees are making money off of this guy's likeness and his character and his last name. Yes. And yes. So in that regard, pay the man. I understand that.
It's a scumbag move because what you said is it's got you on the fence about Judge. I'll tell you, half the Yankees fans aren't on the fence. They're like, sorry, and now they're turning on one of our most needed players throughout the season because of a contract. That's not how this should be going. The Yankees should have fucking given him whatever he wanted. I don't think that Judge is going to be asking for too much. He would have been market value guy. I think that they offered him a shitty deal. Teams lowball everybody with their first offer.
Toast just asked a question to me specifically, asking me who I would want, Stanton or Judge, and to me, it's not close. It's Aaron Judge, considering the fact that he's a serviceable dude. He can play the field.
I think Stanton
can't.
I think Stanton can.
Stanton can, but they choose not to.
What do you think Uncle Steve? Well, if he's going to talk to all 30 teams, Uncle Steve for the
that's the problem. And I know Chop Payne put it in Chop Sports, or I've seen it a couple times floating around, Judge in a Mets uniform. That wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't. Uncle Steve's got unlimited funds, so it would not surprise me to see Aaron Judge across the way in Flushing. It would not surprise me at all. And that's what's scary, because now you start to turn into this like, please, God, just sign. Do what you got to do, is just sign. And now you're thinking, all right, maybe the Yankees might have lowballed him in the grand scheme of things, but I don't see it that way, because I see that he, is just, there's so much more that the Yankees can offer him other than the contract.
Yeah, I agree.
A brand forever.
It's like the Cowboy thing. They're always
going to be involved.
They're always
that's why you got guys. That's why you got guys in the world.
And now you see guys like Albert Pujols going back to St. Louis 10 years later, and they're fucking accepting him at open arms. I think Aaron Judge, when
I'm not
Pujols
saying the
left,
world would hate him. It would suck not to have him.
I think they would. in 10 years from now, I would be like, I still love Aaron Judge. I have no problem with him.
If he
If
goes
he
out
leaves,
and
that's the
wins
business.
the MVP this year. Let's not even say the World Series. He goes out and wins the MVP this year.
He's going to price himself
He's
way
gonna
out of
be-
town.
If Aaron-
yeah,
yeah.
it's they're gonna have.
He's going to be the first ever.
First of all, for
$500
anybody
million player,
to sit
you
here
know,
and
like-
say that anybody could price themselves out of the New York Yankees, like out of town, it's the fucking,
Welcome to
we're the
2022
New York
Yankees.
Yankees.
No, we're not anymore. That's the thing.
No.
We're not.
Well, then, if that's the case, then
If that
what
was
are
the
we
case,
doing
then
here?
we would have
What are we doing?
Freddie
here?
Freeman. If that was the case, we would have traded for if we missed out on Freeman, we would have traded for Matt Olson. We would have played bully ball and got the guys that we needed to get. But the Yankees are not that team anymore. It's Hal Steinbrenner penny pinching and being a complete cheapo, and that's why the Yankees are where they at.
Yeah,
you know that's where we're
No,
at.
I agree.
And look, the Yankees are 2-1. They started the year. Everybody's excited.
All I
right?
heard about was how we're not going after these big name free agents because we're gonna have to pay Judge 10 years, fucking the entire world. Where is it?
Matt Hibby just brings up a really good point. He's talking about his Mets, and if you can find and support Matt and John Saponaro on their episode every week, but he says Nimmo's a free agent next year. 5-year deals for Kana and Escobar and Cano. He thinks the Mets will be players in the sweepstakes, but he also thinks that Judge wants the Mets to be players in the sweepstakes to up his value in New York. Like that bidding war will be out of control. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna make some cheddar, man. Anyway. The only thing I could say about the Yankee series, by the way,
Also, it wouldn't even have been the highest paid Yankee ever.
Yeah.
It would have been the highest paid position player ever. He wouldn't even be the highest paid Yankee on the current team right now. The highest paid Yankee on the current team right now is a guy that we talked about earlier about possibly not having it anymore, and that's Garrett Cole. You can't give Aaron Judge has to be the highest paid Yankee.
which I will never ever understand for the life of me, and this goes universally around baseball. Why a pitcher makes more than a fielded player and a batter. That makes zero sense to me. The guy pitches once every 7 days, 6 days, whatever the case may be, and he makes more money than anybody. And it breaks down to like $1 million a pitch or something stupid, right? The position players deserve more money, 100%, period, stop. There's no debate. Not for me, at least.
It's like 36, right? Or 38 million a year, right? You get something. It's something like that.
Who?
Yeah, Cole is 36.
Cole? Oh, yeah. Cole's making hand over fist. The only thing I'll say about the Yankees series was on Friday when they had opening day, Boone almost booned himself. Like he brought in a pinch hitting Cold Torres off the bench, which I was kind of excited.
I was happy that we had Torres to go to on the bench. I was like, oh, this
I
is
never
worth-
believed. I believe in pinch hitting, but not as like the last resort. If you want to pinch hit for somebody in the 7th, do it. Pinch hit in the 9th. Yes, it's a great feel good moment. Like pinch hit, solo shot, game over, won.
Here's why though. You got these scouting reports, and if Torres hits a guy well,
again, I know why they do it. I just like you're sitting there like, come on, Higgy, you got this, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, pinch hit. I'm like, wait.
Look, I'm putting Glaber in over Higgy all day, every day, and twice that day.
It's 4 times,
right? So
he's putting him in 4 times.
If you got Glaber on your bench and you got Higgy up in a big spot and he doesn't do it, then all the talk is going to be how come you didn't use Glaber in that spot, and rightfully so.
That's almost going for it on 4th down.
Yeah,
like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you don't get it, you're an idiot. If you get it, what a genius!
It's too
move.
early. Like let me. We won. Let me breathe. I don't want to start bashing.
So going around the MLB as we're finally done with opening weekend, we can get around the league a little bit. A couple things that kind of jumped out at me, at least. I wrote down some things. Bobby Witt, good at baseball.
Yeah,
so he's looking good.
Oh, Dave, you could tell Dave was gone for the weekend because Bobby Witt had a really nice. He had some moments, but he was like he had 2 hits. One of them was a game winner.
Well, thank you.
But it is no. I want to talk about that too. Let the kids play, bro. We got a bunch of guys that got late spring call up. So basically, the season was a day away. They get called up to the roster. We have a guy that got called up on day 3 and made his debut. One of the touted prospects for the Giants.
Any buyer's remorse with the New York Metropolitans not bringing back Noah Syndergaard? Thor goes 5 1/3 scoreless. Looks like the ace that he was.
No, because I think Noah Syndergaard, it's always been assumed that he's going to give you about 16 good starts a year. And at $21 million this year, I don't think 16 starts is a good deal.
Toast is on one of my other points that I hear. Hunter Green wins his debut, 7 strikeouts. He hit over 100 miles an hour 20 times. Yeah. The boy can throw.
Wow.
He's a flamethrower, ladies and gentlemen.
College?
Huh?
What's his name? I can't think of his name. There's a dude in college that's throwing 104 miles an hour back-to-back pitches.
They're bigger, stronger,
Insanity.
faster.
He's going to be injured very soon, though.
Insanity.
But, yeah, we got a lot of other guys. Josh Lau, the guy that's taken over for Austin Meadows in Tampa Bay, bro, this kid's hitting triples,
Speaking
doubles,
of Tampa Bay,
stealing bases, and Tampa Bay is again the only undefeated team in baseball.
There's
right
30
now.
teams in baseball, and the only one that come out of there 3-0 was the Tampa Bay Rays. Everybody else has a loss on their record already. Unbelievable. Ibanez coming in and saying zero remorse. Bassett killed it. Yes, he did. Fantasy. Yeah.
Yes, Chris Bassett. I
Drafted that
nothing less from him. I do want to bring up one other interesting point that took place over the weekend with opening day. So all 8 active members of Major League Baseball that have ever in their career have won the Roberto Clemente Award will now be allowed to wear a 21 patch on their hat. The only guys that are allowed to wear it are as if you have won the award before in your career.
So it's like the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
You're allowed
award.
to wear it, yes, and you're allowed to wear it for the rest of your career.
That's pretty dope.
The list includes some
This is pretty
guys.
cool.
Carlos Carrasco, Nelson Cruz, was it, Rob?
Yeah.
Nelson Cruz, because Cruz, I mean, not
It's
giving
gotta
him
be
much there.
Nelson Cruz.
Clayton Kershaw, Andrew McCutchen, I would say Yadier Molina,
Yes. So.
Albert Pujols, New York Yankees own Anthony Rizzo,
Hey,
and,
Paisan.
Adam Wainwright.
So you get to wear that like a badge of honor forever. That's
so
pretty
shout
cool.
out to those guys. It's one of those cool things.
I like that. Byron Buxton hits 2 bombs in a game. That's cool. Dude, Ohtani just ripped the cover off a ball. His hardest hit home run registered happened this weekend. 119 miles an hour off the bat. 100.
Yeah. Did you see that?
Oh my God,
I think
that's
Giancarlo
insane.
has homered in 6 straight games against the Red Sox.
We own you.
And
Boston.
I believe he is homered also on all 4 of Yankee opening days that he's participated in. All 4.
If you hate Giancarlo Stanton, there's something wrong with you. And I'm not saying to compare him to Judge. I'm just saying Giancarlo Stanton at one point was the best player in baseball. And yes, the people are starting to overtake the throne. I get it. There's better players out there than him because, he doesn't play the field, whatever. But like every time he swings that bat and makes contact, it's a boom.
Yeah, Byron Buxton nonstop hitting bombs.
I did.
He's
I said
another,
that 2 home runs in a game. Yeah.
So he's another one. I think I might have picked him as a potential MVP candidate on our breakdown show.
That sounds like a familiar name. It could have been. We talked about Hunter Green, Ohtani. The Mets are off to a 3-1 start, which, by the way, 4 games, really? Right off the rip. You're done with the strike. By the way, your opening series is 4 games, not 3. No days off for you guys. 3-1. No DeGrom.
There's not going to be many days off for many teams, and I think that's going to make our fantasy season a little more interesting because you're going to have a full lineup almost every day.
Speaking of fantasy season, I'm neck and neck with Carl, your brother. I'm down by like 4.
Do you know who I'm not neck and neck with?
You're
anybody in the league.
Starching.
Because
Grasso.
exactly what I said was going
Dina
to
needs
happen
a comeback of a
is
lifetime.
going to happen. I might not
happen.
lose this whole season.
I saw an interesting stat yesterday. It was like 120. There was 124 strikeouts yesterday, and in Tony Gwynn's like the last 8 years of his career, didn't even have 124 strikeouts. That is crazy.
Tony Gwynn was that dude, bro.
That's nuts.
Tony Gwynn was that dude. I also have to shout this out. Rob Manfred, what a giving dude. I don't know if you saw this. After a 99-day lockout with all the bullshit and everybody and their mothers are hating Rob Manfred, he gave every single MLB player Bose headphones as a peace offering for the lockout.
Bose, too.
Bose. Not even Beats. Bose.
You mean like Beats?
Beats by
You
Dre.
still doing Beats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he sell
Yeah,
that?
you do Beats?
Who
Or you
sold
just
what?
do I just do
Dre
like
sells.
AirPods.
Dre
Just
sold
regular-
Beats?
Like years ago.
That happened?
I don't know.
I got like 3 pairs of Beats.
khakis.
AirPods. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody uses AirPods. Yeah,
That was good. I like that. Jake,
AirPods. But me, on the other hand, I use Lenovo, bro.
What? Because they're $20 on Amazon?
You know it.
Where'd you
dog.
get your AirPods, by the way?
Well, those ones are at my house, but the ones that I use here are Lenovo.
Okay.
And honestly,
What do you guys use out there?
I think one of my AirPods is mixed up with somebody else in my family because one's like crusty, and
Ew.
that one's mine. Now
They should,
No, I don't know,
definitely
it
use
just
the
looks
ear and nose
filthy.
trimmer just in case.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Apple,
else we got?
Apple bought
What
Beats
else we
according to the
got
Scoop.
out
That's
of
it.
this,
That's all I got
out of
today,
this
man.
opening weekend here?
Well, the Yankees open up a series against Toronto tonight, so that should be fun.
The opening day crowds weren't as big
Skull
as
candy
usual.
at Chris Payne. You get that shit at Best Buy, $20. I'm sorry, go ahead, Rob.
Did you not think like the opening day? A lot of the opening day crowds didn't look as big as usual to me. Like when I watched opening day for Yankees, it
Now,
wasn't packed.
It's a good question because now I'm actually kind of that segues into a point that I was going to make. Baseball fans mad at this whole lockout thing? Did we think we lost fans here because of this? And I know it's opening day, and like a lot of these opening days are like Thursday at 1 o'clock. So if you
Yeah,
can't get off
that's
of
what I
work,
thought
Bro,
too,
there's a
man.
couple
It is what it
things. There's
is.
a couple things. One, it's expensive to go to opening day. 2, only rich people usually go and sit in the visible seats and like when you're watching the
so
game.
usually they're all.
And I'm just speaking for Yankee games alone because I've only gone to Yankees opening day, and there's people there. They're just in the fucking the bowels of the stadium, because if you sit behind home plate, bro, have you ever seen what it's like when you walk back in there? You ever go sit behind home plate and then go into that? There's like an executive chef. You have food at your disposal. There's a wall. Anything that you could basically buy in the stadium, you just get for free there. So it's like there's a TV that's the size of
Yankee Stadium.
3 of these studios combined that you watch the game on. There's no need. You get weighted on hand and foot. Or you could go sit there and watch a little bit of the game, but typically these guys are jaded. They sit back there all the time.
That's why I love minor league parks.
Upper decks were fairly full, but
no
also,
TVs. You got to go back to your seat to watch the game.
Also, Friday game was not supposed to be even a game. They played Friday, so nobody had taken off work. If you had opening day tickets for Thursday,
that's true.
They did it early enough as to where some people were able to adjust their schedule. But I know you were talking about the Yankee game with me because that's how this conversation started. And I'm attributing it to maybe you could say a couple people didn't go because of the strike. But at the end of the day, baseball fans were collectively happy that baseball was back.
Agree. I didn't lose an ounce of my love for the Yankees or the sport of baseball. Yeah. I just was very frustrated.
Think it had to do with that. I think it had to do with, in the Yankees case, their opening day was a Thursday. It rained out. They pushed it to Friday. There's still work that day. It was a day game. I think that the attendance will be fine.
Did anybody out there, I know you didn't, I didn't get a chance to, I was in the air. Anybody watch this K-cast with Michael K and Alex Rodriguez?
Bro, I couldn't avoid something harder, like the Manning cast, the K. I'm not.
You're missing out, man.
They had Roger Clemens on.
They had Clemens, Poppy. They had what's the guy comes in, calls him a big head right away.
Jeff Passan.
Jeff Passan came in dropping bombs on Michael K, saying like he goes, my window's smaller, yet your head is still bigger. Like that was phenomenal. I mean, Michael K is the first one to tell you he has a big head. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch that, but I'm very interested to see it because I'm interested to know how it did in comparison to the ratings on ESPN, because again, they're competing against each other. So
they were playing, I think they went head up on ESPN2 against the Savannah Bananas victorious.
Yes, the Savannah Bananas that's on Saturday. They got their job done on ESPN. Our boy over there did I think he played a little bit. I didn't see. I box scored that one as well. I was out of touch. It's a very defeating thing when you're out of touch and you're surrounded by professional wrestlers who don't like sports,
who don't care. But wrestling, that's it. Yeah,
you know, a couple of guys I can have a conversation with, bro. Like,
I've been out of touch. I'm still waiting on my other phone to arrive. It's been like now 10 days. I do have the business phone, but bro, talk about out of touch. I have people like mad at me right now because I haven't answered
Jimmy Palumbo getting involved.
He'll be all right. I'm talking about just
he messaged you on Facebook looking for Chris. This is getting insane now.
Oh,
I'm not your first of all, Jimmy. I'm not his receptionist. He literally left me a message. He goes, "I'm looking for Chris's receptionist to leave a message for."
I got a text from Ashley. I was at work. I think it was Friday night. I got a text from Ashley.
Don't tell me, Jimmy.
Yes, Jimmy messaged me.
No.
Are you serious?
No. I mean, I get it.
That's out of line.
I get it. No, they've. That's fine. She's done PR work for him before in the past. I'm not like, look, I'm the producer for his show. I'm taking one. This Jimmy, me and you are good on that. I don't want you to feel like
I'm not. No, I'm kidding.
I'm a producer on Jimmy's show, so when he's trying to get in touch with me, I understand it must be frustrating for him. But you know, full disclosure, I didn't have my phone and I was at work. So
there you go. Done. All right. So obviously the baseball gets kicked.
Like I owe you like $1,100 and I can't get in touch with you to pay you.
Wow, you're right. Can't even cash in on all that do re mi you won on that horrible pool.
There was a Venmo issue because when you run pools, you have issues with Venmo. That's it. And
wait, so he's having an issue?
Yeah, he had the same issue as well. Well, not the same. Very similar though. They just lock you up for a week.
Can we just get over the fact that people gamble? Like, can we not it's because you put box pool in your description, so we're gonna lock your account. It's your money. You should be able to. If you pride yourself on being a transfer money service, let him transfer money.
Especially if you're paying your taxes. What do you care?
Right. So I'm saying. Oh, speaking of that, we're going to talk after. Got that email back. Like, everything worked out good. But by the way, you owe the state. Like, what?
I thought he was putting in. So he lied.
What? Who lied?
This is off the show.
No. This is great. Yeah. We're going to expose this guy right now. No.
Because he said year one, you'll never pay.
Well, New Jersey on every business has a certain fee that they crush you.
So that's what we have to pay?
Yeah.
How much?
Too much.
So we're shutting down Chop Sports, guys. It was
guys.
real.
If you want to support the show and help us pay our taxes, patreon.com/Chop Sports. No, but seriously, good show. Thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Dina. Thank you, Rob. We'll be live again later on this channel to talk about in depth the UFC event that went down. Apparently, Tommy's got a cliffhanger for everybody. He's talking about how he wants to get something off his chest. He's itching to talk.
Well, he needs to clear it with me first.
Ooh. Interesting.
I'm not going to have a rundown done. We're going live today. So we're doing a live show. I don't want
We'll
to
do it live.
Tommy all of a
Fuck
sudden
it.
starts talking about something crazy like
Let me tell you, like we're talking about Gilbert Burns. Like, can we talk about the Biden administration? Where I'm like, and it's like, cut the cord. Done.
Did you watch Eagle FC this weekend?
Did you watch the Minnesota Office of promotion one more again? Oh my God. Did I say that right? Probably not.
What you were trying to say, Giannis?
Scoop said, let's get Doritos off his chest.
You marks, all you Cheeto dust eating, mommy basement living marks out there.
Tommy's
and I'm talking to you,
Tommy's
Tommy.
gonna have like some rant about like indie wrestling about.
I talked to you about the MLW coverage that I had this weekend. Nah, nobody cares, Tommy. We'll see you guys later on. For that show, tune in later on. We'll be here and we'll be live. Rob will be involved. Tommy will be involved. We'll be back at this after my 8th and 9th cup of coffee, because usually around that time we're all just like fading. So we got to do something. Maybe we run some laps around the building, something fresh air. So for Sturch and Gooch, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good rest of your Monday. Ladies and germs.
I gotta piss.